Hey everyone, Mary Pat here, and today I'm going to be making a card with coordinations and Some Odd Girl and Dreamweaver stencils, excuse me. So I'm starting off with the craft cardstock, and then I have a digi stamp printed on my core 110 pound cardstock, and that's a digi stamp from Some Odd Girl. And then I have this really cool stencil that I got from Dreamweaver, and I love it because it's metal. And so it is so easy to use. So I'm going to create my own background using this really cool stencil. So I have my A2 cut out, my card, and so I'm going to put my stencil on top of that. But first I'm going to use some embossing paste, and I want to color my embossing paste. So I'm going to be using some Tim Holtz Distress ink, and I've got my craft mat, and I'm just pushing my ink on there, and you can see I've got some ink on there, and then I'm just going to scoop out a little bit of my embossing paste, and just with a knife. I know some people can use little like spatulas and stuff like that. I'm just using what I had in the drawer, and that is just a little knife. It works perfectly for me with that, and so I'm just mixing in the color. And so I used Vintage Photo, which is a kind of like a brown that has an orange tint to it. So you can kind of see how it's all coming together. And so there's like some darker browns color in there, and then more of like a little orangey color. So I have that all mixed up, and for me, what I like to do is I like to tape down my card and then tape down the stencil so that I know nothing is going to move. So as I'm smearing it all around, I know it's going to be safe with that. So I kind of tape this, and I love having that stencil being metal because it's so easy with that. And now I'm just taking my embossing paste and I'm just smoothing it right on top of the stencil, and then that embossing paste will go in and fill in all of the parts. And so again, I'm just kind of spreading this in, trying to hit all of the areas and smooth all of that out. And I'm just kind of scooping it up from my craft mat. I just love the craft mat because it's so easy to be picked up and everything. So again, just kind of smoothing that out and working that in all of the nooks and crannies of the stencil. So there I have it all done. I'm just kind of smoothing it over. And so now it is time to kind of lift off the embossing or the stencil. So I'm just carefully taking off my washi tape, and then I'm just kind of popping that out, and then you can see the cool design that's on there. Now there's one little spot that it looks like I missed, but then I'm going to be putting my sentiment there, so it's going to be just fine and dandy. So you can kind of see the embossing paste has a little bit of color. So now I'm coming back to my Some Odd Girl. This is the little T-Rex digi stamp, and I printed that out, and I'm going to color him with CG1, CG2, and DG3. And I'm going to try this new technique that I've been seeing, and it's kind of like with dots, and so I kind of did a little practice there. And I love this little T-Rex. I think he is so cute. And so I'm using the fine bullet tip just to kind of go around his mouth, and just so that I don't want to get his teeth green in there. And so I'm starting with that lightest color, and now I'm taking the chisel nib and I'm just going really fast over him because I'm going to be cutting him out, and so it doesn't matter that I go out of the lines. And I personally love it when I can, go ahead and do this because it's much faster. And again, I'm not an exact colorer. So now I'm going with my CG2, and I'm sorry that my hand is kind of blocking, but I am just taking the pen and I'm just putting little tiny dots all over his tail, his legs, kind of where the natural line of the stamp is, and now up his belly, and now you can kind of see where I'm just tapping down. I'm not tapping very hard, I'm just putting a little bit of color in there, getting his legs a little bit greener. And I went a little bit on the top of his head. So you can kind of see how, you know, it's definitely just little dots. Now I'm going in with my darkest color, the DG3, and I am just again adding a little bit darker color into that, and I'm going right on top of the medium tone, and just adding a little bit darker look to it. And again, I'm just going right on top and in the same places, just adding a little bit more and just dotting up and down with that. Now I'm going back in with, just to kind of blend it just a little bit, and I'm going back with my CG2, that's that middle tone, and I am just going right on top again and just kind of going over where I added the dark and getting that to kind of just lightly spread out a little bit and blend just a pinch, but I don't want it to blend flawlessly. I want it to just kind of go together. So now I'm taking my lightest color and just going kind of up to where I did the dot and just kind of moving out some of the color. And again, you can see I'm not even really touching, trying really hard to not just go where that is. And that looks good. I like that. Once it dries, it will give the effect. Right now it looks kind of bold, but once it dries, it's going to be more like what's on the right there. And there he is. I fussy cut him out. And when I fussy cut out a stamp, I then take my black marker from Spectrum Noir, and I just kind of use the edge and go around the entire stamp just to redefine and add in that black ink mark with that. And there he is. Oh, he's so cute. Love it. Love the coloring with that. So now I've let my card dry, and you can see and feel the texture. It really feels great on there, and you can kind of see it on that, and you can see the coloring. So the green really, really pops against kind of like the monotone background. Then I love Christie's from Some Odd Girls digi cut files. So I cut this out using the Core Essentials cardstock, and it's too cute. And I used my silhouette to cut that out. These are the loopy sentiments. And to attach them to my card, I'm using my Xyron X, and I'm just feeding that through. And so I'm adding that with the two, and since the embossing, I didn't hit that one spot, I'm adding that kind of just like right on there, so you really can't even tell that I didn't hit that spot too well. I attached the T-Rex with a bit of foam tape. So now I just need to take that and I need to adhere it to my base, and I'm just going to add some glue and add that on there. And then you have a fun card, and I think it will go into my lunchbox for one of my boys. And there we have it. Too cute. Too cool. Love it. So check out these Dreamweaver stencils. They're really fun to use. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day and you enjoyed watching the video. Please like the video. If you do, I would appreciate it. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.